Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Nick from ForexForNoobs.com with the daily analysis. Today is Tuesday, the 12th of March 2019. Time is 10:01 here in the UK. You're looking at an AUDCAD daily chart. In today's analysis, we're going to be looking for price action setups across all these pairs here, or across most of these pairs here. When I say price action setups, I mean reversals, continuations, all kinds of setups. For more information on the setups I trade, look below this video in the description for a link to my strategy. Anyway, now that the intro is over, hello everyone. Hello Bram. To the first person who said hello, I don't know how to say your name. I want to say hello, but I'm just going to call you Ollie. Hello, Ollie. Paul, how was snowboarding? Snowboarding was fantastic. Probably one of the best experiences of my life. I loved it. It was great. My body feels like it's a broken mess. Everything hurts. Wrists are badly damaged. My back hurts, which I've never had back pain in my whole life, but now I do. But it's fading away, thankfully. Very tough sport, but great fun. I loved it. Anyway, guys, let's get into the analysis. Yeah, it wasn't the most relaxing of holidays. I'm off on a relaxing beach holiday in June. But to be honest, I think I like snowboarding better than going to a beach. But anyway, let's get into the analysis, guys. I'm happy to talk about snowboarding, but I know that most people just want to hear the analysis, so we should dive into it. Right, AUDCAD, what's going on here? I haven't really looked at my charts until today. I had a quick look yesterday. The whole trip when I was away, I didn't look at them at all. I had a quick look yesterday, and I saw that a lot had happened. But this is my first proper look at the charts. Right. So AUDCAD not doing too much. There's nothing that I'd really want to trade right there. AUDJPY is stuck in a bit of a range, it would seem. So, that's a bad color. That's not showing up well on the chart. I'm going to switch to red. No, I don't like that either. Sorry guys, just let me sort this out. I don't know why I changed those colors. All right, blue. That kind of stands out a little bit. So we got bounce from the bottom. That's a half bounce, so it's not that great. Bounce from the top. Second bounce from the bottom. Second bounce from the top. And now it's going for a third bounce from the bottom. The first one, like I said, was a half bounce, so it's a bit iffy as to whether or not it counts. Point is, AUDJPY is in a range, and that is good for us because ranges are usually pretty easy to trade and pretty easy to make profit on trades in ranges, I mean. So let's look for a move up to this resistance area. That's what I'm looking for right now. When price pushes up to this resistance area, it's very likely that it's going to stall out here because of this range it's in. I mean, it might not stall out. It might break straight through it. And if it does, then there is no trade. But if it stalls, I'll be looking for a short reversal trade within this range. Looks pretty cool right now. I'm going to flag that. I'm going to unflag these because these were flagged from before I went on holiday. So I've adjusted my support resistance areas a little bit this morning, by the way. So I did technically look at my charts this morning, but I didn't do any analysis. All I did was adjust support resistance areas. And I'm not liking these ones here that I've placed. And we're gonna push it up to there. AUDUSD is turning around. Is anyone long here on AUDUSD? I get a feeling that someone might have gone long here because it was kind of stalled out on support. I haven't really been on the forum either. Yeah, I don't see anything on the forum about long on AUDUSD. Fair enough. Well, that's fine. It's not a great setup anyway, but there's nothing really happening here right now. CAD CHF, nothing much going on. EUR AUD, nothing much going on. Oh, by the way, guys, well, totally blanked on this. I wouldn't have forgot to mention this, but I should have probably mentioned this at the start of the analysis. Today, we have the Brexit vote. Now, it's very, very likely that it's going to be rejected. But you never know. You never know. Could be accepted. Long shot. But if it is, the markets are going to go absolutely crazy. If it's rejected, I feel like we'll probably see some movement, but not that much because it's already very much expected that it's going to be rejected. But either way, trading the pound or the euro today, you're asking for trouble, really. It's a big risk. I would go as far as to say that trading the pound this week is just a bit too risky. Unless you're trading with the idea of capitalizing on moves caused by Brexit. If you think you know what direction it's going to go because of these Brexit announcements, then, you know, feel free to take a trade. But I'm saying using my specific strategy where we're trading reversals, it's a bit risky to just dive into these Brexit trades, to dive into trades rather during this Brexit announcement or vote. And also, of course, the annual budget release, which is going to be tomorrow, is another big one. And no doubt we're going to get more Brexit news tomorrow and probably Thursday and probably Friday. Point is, GBP very, very risky this entire week. Particularly today and tomorrow. But I would not be surprised if this continues on to Thursday and Friday as more and more news comes out. So be very, very careful with GBP and Euro today, and then GBP and Euro, I guess, for the rest of the week, but particularly GBP. Other than that, we don't really have that much news that's going to have a huge impact on us in the next 24 hours. The CPI is always something you need to kind of watch out for, but unless it's way off consensus, it shouldn't bother us too much on the higher time frames. Large time frames, CPI, not a huge deal unless it's way off consensus. So, you know, do be careful at 12:30 today, which is in about 2 hours and 23 minutes. 2 hours, 20 minutes. Do be careful, but I'm not too bothered with this USD stuff. What I am bothered about is the Brexit vote and the annual budget release tomorrow. So, yeah, just be careful, guys. Back to EuroCAD, nothing much going on. Euro GBP, I mean, we have some pretty solid indecision. Looks like it's possibly going to turn around here, but it could go any direction. It would be very, very silly to take a reversal here on Euro GBP. I know it could work out, and tomorrow we might look at this and it might be all the way up here, And then everyone will be saying, damn, why didn't I take that reversal trade? But that's not the way you have to think about trading. What you have to think about today is this could very easily shoot down, then shoot back up. It could do so many different things. And if it does go crazy, you can get slipped by a huge amount on your stop losses. So you might have a stop loss of, let's say, 20 pips, and that stop loss could get slipped by 40, 60 pips, and it could be 4 times what you expected it to be, meaning that you're losing 4 times what you expected to lose, which is not a position you ever want to be in as a trader. So Euro GBP, we do have what looks like the beginnings of a reversal setup, but I'm not even going to mark it because it would be absolutely silly to jump into a trade there. It's gambling, not trading, and real traders don't gamble. Euro JPY, nothing much going on. Euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand, somewhat interesting. Price stalling out on top of support. This one, I'm going to mark this one. It is Euro, so it's not going to be as affected by the announcement, but it is probably going to be pretty affected. But I'm not going to enter this one until, if I do even enter it, I'm going to hold off on this until tomorrow. So when the initial vote is over is when I'll be looking at this. So let's keep an eye on Euro New Zealand for a potential long reversal from this support area. Potential long reversal, but not until tomorrow. So we need this daily candle to close, which we would need anyway for this potential setup to meet our requirements. We would need this daily candle to close, and then we would need the next candle to start pushing up. So let's keep an eye on this, but I'm not like excited about this at all, because it's very likely that it's not going to be a trade by the end of the day after the rejection vote. Euro USD, nothing much going on. Nothing that I would want to trade anyway. Way too risky. Gonna be a bit of a dull day today, guys, in my opinion, because most of the GBP and Euro pairs are just untradeable right now. GBP AUD, nothing much. GBP JPY pushing up to resistance. But yeah, I mean, in a normal scenario, I would say watch out for this resistance area for a potential short. We create a bit of a double top there if we get that potential short. But I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, guys. Too risky. You're in a long, presumably, on the 12-hour GBP JPY. Should you hold or should you close now? I mean, you already know the answer to this. I've literally just gone on about how risky it is to hold on to trades or to take trades on GBP JPY. This is not a question you need to ask. I would suggest, since you're probably very close to target, get out of the trade, man. Just not worth the risk. The trade you're in, now I'm going to take a guess here because I know that you're trading my strategy, so I know roughly where the entry and stop loss would be. They might differ from this, of course, but I'm going to say your trade's roughly at least 1.5R. Maybe higher, maybe lower. There we go. Good guess. Aren't I amazing? 1.5R, I mean, you could definitely, in a normal scenario, hold out a little bit for a bit of a higher move to get your 2R risk reward ratio. But you're at 1.5. You got the Brexit vote coming today. There's literally no reason why it would make sense to hold this. The number one rule for any trader is to protect your capital. You're in a position where you've just added to your capital. I know it's a floating gain. It hasn't been closed yet, but still, protect your capital. That holds true. You need to protect your capital now. And leaving a trade open while we have one of the biggest and most important events in the history of the UK. That's probably that's a bold statement, but one of the most important events in the recent history of the UK is fair to say is just not very intelligent, and it's not what a smart trader would be doing in my opinion. So get out. I very rarely tell people solidly get out or stay in, but I am going to say today would be silly to hold. Just get out, man. And I don't know, if you want to change your charts to ON or to FXEM, do so. I think they're pretty much the same though. GBP New Zealand, nothing much. GBP USD, awesome reversal setup forming here. Looks like a solid opportunity for a reversal, but we're not going to trade it. New Zealand CAD shooting up to resistance. Let's see what happens when it hits this resistance area up here at 0.9220. It's not there yet, but we don't have much to look forward to today, so I'm going to mark this one anyway. New Zealand CHF, that looks pretty decent. We got price stalling out on resistance. It's hit this resistance area several times, stalling out at the resistance area once again. Yeah, this looks like a pretty decent setup. It's a bit of a weird pair, New Zealand CHF, but looks like a solid short setup is forming here. I'm going to wait for this daily candle to close and look for a short after the daily candle closes. Could enter on the 12-hour if you want, but it's of course going to be a little bit riskier. New Zealand USD bouncing from support, pushing up to resistance. Now, New Zealand USD is quite interesting. This one is also in a range very similar to, what was it, AUDJPY? Yes, AUDJPY. Very similar. We got kind of a half bounce here. We got a full bounce from the top, full bounce from the bottom, full bounce from the top, and now we're in the third bounce from the bottom. So this is an established range now. When price hits the top of this range, I'm going to be looking for a potential short trade here on New Zealand USD. I'll review all these potentials at the end of the analysis, so I'll go into a bit more detail there. Nothing on USDCAD. USDCHF, potential for a big short here. Yeah, it's a difficult one to enter. Just trying to get an idea of what it's done the last few times. There is potential for a big short. These are highs that are rarely reached for this pair. And if you look at its recent history, since the big drop, start of January 2015, caused by the depegging, we've seen that it's pushed up above this resistance area a few times, but every time it gets close to it, it starts to turn around. So there is potential for a big short here, but the question is, when do you enter it? Probably not going to enter it today, so let's revisit this in the coming days. USDJPY, nothing much going on. US oil, this is just something I'm experimenting with, so don't worry too much about those. Gold and silver. Gold, this looks like a reversal trade, but to be honest, I just adjusted this support area down this morning to this point. It was a bit higher before, so that wouldn't have been a reversal trade that would have been taken. And nothing much going on silver, so let's just... what happened there? Alright, I think that's it. CAD JPY was added to the list, but there was nothing on CAD JPY. Yeah, that's better. Right, so AUDJPY, we're looking at a range, prices in a range, looking for price to push up to the top of that range for a potential short reversal trade. And we got the exact same thing happening on New Zealand USD. We got a daily chart range, which is quite rare and quite profitable when they do occur. Price is pushing to the top of that range right now. Once it hits the top of that range, I'll be looking for a short reversal. So AUDJPY and New Zealand USD have very similar setups. Euro New Zealand, price stalling out on top of support, potential for a long reversal trade here. New Zealand CAD, price pushing towards resistance. When it hits that resistance area, there's potential for a short reversal, but it's not there yet, so this one is the least likely at the moment. New Zealand CHF, price is stalling out on top of resistance, so there's potential for a short reversal trade here. That wraps it up for the first analysis since my holiday, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to ask now. Okay. Yeah. Support resistance areas are always updated on the site. They will be updated. I feel this week is mostly going to be a write-off. We might be able to catch some trades, but it's going to be very, very risky trading this week due to GBP or the UK Brexit vote. GBP is just going to be messy, and it's probably going to be take euro along with it, which, you know, it severely cuts down our trading opportunities since euro and GBP make up a lot of the pairs we trade. Now, like I said, there are some alternatives here that I've marked out. One of them includes euro, which is going to be risky. You know, we might catch a few trades this week, but I think most smart traders are just going to be sitting on their hands this week. I'm going to start experimenting with some more commodities this week to see if we can branch out into trading some of these commodity pairs, which might give us some more opportunities at times like this where trading Forex pairs is just a bit too risky because of major news. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap things up in this analysis. I'll catch you for tomorrow's analysis, which is going to be at the same time. Thank you guys for attending, and I'll see you later.